Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and it's finally time to do our meta review a week removed from the latest balance patch that only saw, right? 3 cards changed, the Mage quest was buffed, saw Dorian Warlock pretty much deleted, and Cycle Rogue nudged, and yes, it was a nudge like I predicted. I was not just being cynical. But yeah, we're gonna go over why this expansion just feels like a lost cause, why standard, at least to me lately, has felt like kind of a lost cause, and why I don't think this expansion is set up at all to succeed now, at least in the immediate. I do think that in the long term, this could be a good thing for Hearthstone, but it's really painful right now, and we'll talk about exactly why that all is. And there was one new portrait added to the shop, which I will preview there if you want to take a look at it. It's available for gold, which is kind of nice. Anyways, enjoy the content on the channel. Feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below, as it helps the channel out a lot. So we look at the front page of HS Replay, nothing looks that bad. It's funny, on a surface level, if you take a look at the meta, whether it's across all ranks, like Paladin #1, Shaman at the bottom, 10% separating, plenty of diversity out there. And then you look at the meta itself, nothing looks glaringly that bad. If we go just to Legend itself, we have 3 tier A, I guess tier 1 decks, whatever, and a lot of playable decks, right? There's tons of stuff here. Even at tier C, we have playable stuff. But when you look a little deeper, and we've talked a lot about this, it just isn't working, at least for this expansion. Let's go through the archetypes and go over what is new or has popped up that is primarily focused on the Lost City of Un'Goro cards. Big Demon Hunter definitely isn't. Beast Hunter, I would say, has a lot more newer cards in there, particularly the Dynamancy card. It's the closest to a newer deck, but Beast Hunter obviously existed before. It just got some good new tools from the set, but that's perfectly okay. Aggro Paladin, I don't even know if it runs like more than a couple new cards. Buff Hunter runs, I don't even think it runs a new card. It might, no, it runs Dynamancy. But like, yeah, old deck. Pain Demon Hunter is an old deck. Big Spell Mage is an old deck. Spell Damage Druid is an old deck. Bandage Priest is one of the only newer decks with the Wilted Shadow or whatever, which has already been nerfed, and it's just an OTK deck that frustrates people. It's not something that I feel like really makes the game better, gets people excited to play, but it is a new deck, I will say that. Nebula Shaman is an old deck. Then we got the quest, the Dive the Galaka Depths quest Paladin deck that drives people crazy too, but that is a new deck. You know, Murlocs have existed before, but not like, you know, with that quest and all of that. Dummy Warrior is an old deck with a couple new cards. Same with the Armor Demon Hunter. Protoss Priest is an old deck with a like 1 new card. Templar Rogue, Fire Rack Rogue. Elemental Mage, I would say, is relatively newer. There's a lot of elemental support this set. So we got like three in the A and B tier of just, you know, newer decks. We have only 1 quest deck, which is the one people hate, of course, in there. And then when we go to like the more fringe stuff, we do have a new deck in Quest Warrior, which to me is the most fun new deck there is. Like, I like the design of that quest outside of the, you know, the time warp shenanigans, but that, you know, it needs to win. And the rest is like a cool control shell, probably my most enjoyed deck of this expansion. Leech DK is an old deck. We got Quest Warlock hanging in there. You got double buffed, and it's still just a tier C deck, but that is new. Stegadon Death Knight is new, but mostly an OTK deck type of deal. But again, it is new. Starship DK is not. Protoss Mage is not. And then all the new decks, they're all at the bottom, right? Quest Hunter, I know Cycle Rogue is here, and you're gonna be like, wait, I thought you said it was a nudge. We'll look at the higher legend numbers later. But yeah, Quest Hunter, Quest Mage, Aviana Druid is old, Terran Shaman's old, Space Rogue is old, and then you got Quest Shaman and Butte Priest. People are still trying to Butte Priest after all this time. But you go to top legend where, like, you know, maybe things get a bit better. No, it's just more of the same. That's where you see Cycle Rogue being back to the deck that's good at high legend and only getting better. So that's why I said it's nudged, because it's only ever been really good at high legend. But you see that the deck diversity, basically the exact same, with only Quest Warlock slightly going up. This Eerie Hunter, which is Discover Hunter, runs a couple new cards, is up there. But at the end of the day, the main focal point of this expansion were the quests, and they're just not working right now. They just aren't. If we just search quest under cards and look at how they're doing with the deck win rate, it paints a pretty ugly picture, right? Dive the Galactic Depths is here with the only one in the positive. Warlock, Warrior even barely hanging in there. Druid, and a lot of them aren't even close, right? Spear the Mountain, DKs, Unleash the Colossus, which has gotten double buffed as well. Reach Equilibrium. It's good in wild, but terrible in standard. And Lion Weight is terrible everywhere at 23%. I just don't know how this set could possibly work, right? The old stuff is just so much better. And if you look at the old stuff, most of it, if you look, is focused around not so much the Emerald Dream, it's focused around all of last year's stuff. So like Whizbang, Perils, and the Starship stuff, StarCraft. And the reason I say that this expansion is doomed right now is it can't compete with the old stuff, and the only way for it to get there is either mass nerfs, which we've already seen 29, or actually, what was it, like 30 plus changes this expansion cycle already, which it helped. The quest decks are slightly better, but they're super far off. So we need either mass nerfs, which is just not going to happen. They're not going to nuke every playable deck. They would have to nuke so many things, or they mass buff the quest so they're so easy to complete, the rewards are so OP that they're faster than that, and I feel like they're probably not going to do that. So the thing is with this, if you remember the early access brawl, or even playing the arena lately, where the new cards are good in the arena, the main hope for this expansion, sadly, I think the main way it's going to succeed is rotation next year. Like, honestly, we might be a half a year, calendar year, whatever away from this set landing, from this set actually really launching, because the early access brawl, the stuff was pretty good when it was with only Emerald Dream and the current set, right? The stuff worked pretty well. And in the arena, where it's pretty diluted, you can't build a good Starship deck, you can't really use the tourist mechanic very well, the miniaturize stuff is pretty minimal. It thrives there too. So we see a world where these cards can work. It's just not in current standard. And unless, again, they nuke everything or they buff everything, that's not going to change, in my opinion. And yeah, we got the last balance patch. We got those changes to Playhouse Giant, Cursed Catacombs, the Forbidden Sequence. Like, again, they made an impact. The Cursed Catacombs was the biggest one in standard. In wild, discard Warlock is still insane, but it's not a lot. And we should be getting a balance patch next week. We should get one, and that will be the telltale sign of what the direction is going to be, right? Are they just going to be like, you know what? We're going to stick to this plan of resetting power level like we did way back when in the Rostican's Rumble year, where you had Boomsday didn't land super heavy, Witchwood outside of Baku and Gen didn't land super heavily. They used that full year to scale things back, let basically Frozen Throne and Agora and that stuff and Kobolds really dictate everything. And then they really kind of were open up with more creativity with Rise of Shadows into all that stuff. And it really breathed a new life into the game. So they've done this before. It has historically worked, but it's a painful process. Rostican's is remembered as one of the worst sets ever because it didn't have a major impact. But again, it was admitted to at the time that was by design, and then it allowed for other stuff to breathe later. Like, it was like short-term, pain to deal with it, and then long-term kind of payoff. And it did work. And maybe that's what they're planning, or they're planning on just launching a really broken mini set too. That could be a possibility. We saw that with a StarCraft mini set. That changed the entire game. So we'll talk about when we should be expecting the mini set. But yeah, 2 weeks after the BG update, we typically get a balance patch. So that would be next week. We'll see, right? We'll see if it's going to be huge and they nerf and buff the crap out of everything, or if they basically stay course. Because like I said, if you look at the meta, there's a diverse amount of decks, there's a diverse amount of classes, there's lots to play. It's just all old stuff and a lot of aggro and scam and OTK stuff. There's not tons of control, but there's control there too. There's a little bit of everything. Like, if you were looking on paper for this meta, you would think, like, it's not that bad, right? But the fun's not there. The new cards aren't there. So ultimately, it'll be really interesting to see what that balance balance patch will look like. We'll do predictions next week and talk about that, but I wanted to give a meta review that, yeah, the patch didn't do a lot. The game is basically, you know, this expansion has just been support cards, mostly for existing decks, like Elise being primary one out there. Very little in terms of the actual quest being successful, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. I really don't, unless drastic things are changed, or again, that mini set is absolutely bonkers and everything gives us 0 mana king plushes like the last one did, right? Yeah, so quick little bonus shop update. If you're not aware, Vandar Stormpike hero set, that's a returning skin, is available. I don't know what the price is. I'm guessing 1,500 gold. I already own it, but you get like a card back. It's a more premium portrait. Really cool one if you like playing warrior. And again, available for gold. So if you have it, might be something you're interested in. Again, it's a cosmetic. You don't need it. And I believe this was a BG skin. It's available for gold right now. I'm gonna get it. It is the Snake Speaker Vosh for Shaman. More basic portrait, I believe, with like no crazy animations or anything like that. But it sounds and looks like this.
Lady Vosh versus Uther. I will fight with honor.
Only death is colder than the depths. Death's greetings to you. You are a survivor. Accept my thanks. Chilling. Was that foolish? You will rue this day. I need mana. Out of the question. That was unfortunate. You are victorious this time.
So yeah, they're a bit of an update in the shop, and yeah, tomorrow we'll talk about when we should expect that mini set. I'm pretty sure I know the date, things we can expect with all of that, and there's like the dual class Tavern Brawl launching tomorrow, so maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll see, but check that out. That is going to be live later today, so check that out. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.